Hey my friend, let's be real for a second. How many tabs do you have open right now? I mean really? On your browser, on your phone, in your mind. The podcast you started but never finished. The article you saved for later, the YouTube video you have queued up. It's a never-ending buffet of information, isn't it? And you know what's wild? We're told this is a good thing. We're told that to be successful, to be a modern human, you have to be constantly learning, constantly consuming, constantly in the know. But what if I told you that this constant consumption, this endless stream of information is actually holding you back? What if the very thing you think is making you smarter, more capable, and more productive is secretly making you feel more anxious, more scattered, and less fulfilled? And what if there's one simple habit, a single, almost ridiculously easy thing you can do every single day that will literally force your brain to put the brakes on this cycle? It's not about a digital detox, and it's not about throwing your phone in the ocean. It's about a tiny, intentional shift that can reclaim your focus, spark your creativity, and give you back the one thing we all desperately need more of: space. I'm not going to lie, I was a professional consumer. I mean, my browser history was a crime scene. I had so many tabs open that my laptop would start sounding like a jet engine trying to take off. I'd wake up and the first thing I'd do was grab my phone, not to check a message, but to scroll through my feed, to see what I missed, to consume something. Anything. I'd be listening to a podcast while folding laundry, then a different one while cooking, then put on a video while I ate. It felt productive. I was multitasking. I was optimizing my time. But if I'm being honest with myself, and with you I was just drowning. I felt this constant, low-grade hum of anxiety. This feeling that I wasn't doing enough, that I wasn't learning fast enough, that I was falling behind. And the more I consumed, the more I felt this way. It's a cruel paradox, right? We consume to feel like we're getting ahead, but the act of consumption itself makes us feel like we're falling behind. And it wasn't just the feeling. My brain felt like a cluttered attic. Ideas would pop in, but I couldn't hold on to them. I'd sit down to write, and my mind would wander to a video I saw an hour ago, or an article I skimmed the day before. The creative well felt dry, even though I was constantly pouring new information in. And then one day something clicked. I was trying to solve a creative problem for a project, something I felt stuck on. I'd watched countless videos on the topic, read a bunch of articles, and my brain was just full. I had so much input but no output. So in a moment of frustration, I just stopped. I put my phone down, I closed my laptop, and I just sat there. I didn't meditate. I didn't try to force an idea, I just sat, and after a few minutes of my brain trying to fill the silence with all the things I could be consuming, it just calmed down. And then, a funny thing happened. The solution to my problem, the very thing I had been searching for online, just kind of floated up from the quiet. It wasn't a bolt of lightning, it was more like a whisper. And in that moment, I realized something profound. Our brains don't need more information. They need more space. They need the quiet to process, to connect, to create. They need room to breathe. And that's where this habit comes in. I call it the creation slot. Not a day, not a week. Just a single, specific slot of time, every day, where your only job is to create. It's not about the outcome. It's not about whether what you create is good or bad. It's just about the act of creating. It's about forcing your brain to switch from input mode to output mode. It's the antidote to the consumption epidemic. Now, before you say, "But I'm not a creative person," or "I don't have time," hear me out. Creating isn't just about painting a masterpiece or writing a novel. Creating is anything that involves you generating something new from your own mind, your own hands. It could be journaling, doodling in a notebook, writing a short email to a friend, cooking a new recipe without looking at a video, brainstorming ideas for a side project, or even just free writing about how your day is going. The medium doesn't matter, the act does. So here's how it works. You pick a time. Maybe it's 20 minutes in the morning before you open your email. Maybe it's 15 minutes during your lunch break. Maybe it's half an hour in the evening after dinner. The key is that it's a non-negotiable part of your day. You put it in your calendar. You treat it with the same reverence you'd give a meeting with your boss. And during this time, you do one thing, and one thing only: you create. You are not allowed to consume. That means no scrolling, no reading, no listening to podcasts, no watching videos. Your phone goes in a different room. Your laptop is closed unless you're using it to, create something. The first few times you do this, it's going to feel weird. Your brain, which is so used to the constant dopamine hits from new information, is going to scream. It's going to tell you it's bored. It's going to try and trick you into just checking one thing. You'll feel a restless energy. You'll feel the urge to fill the silence. That's a good sign. That's the habit working. That's your brain fighting back against the new, healthy pattern you're trying to establish. It's a detox, but a powerful one. And after a few days, something shifts. The restlessness starts to fade. You start to find a rhythm. And the most incredible thing happens: the ideas start to flow. Because you're giving them the room to. You're giving your brain a chance to connect the dots, to process all that information you've already consumed and turn it into something new, something original, something yours. You're moving from being a passive receptacle of information to an active creator of your own life and ideas. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Okay, but what if I don't feel inspired? What if I sit there for 20 minutes and nothing happens? My friend, that's the whole point. You're not waiting for inspiration. You're showing up to create anyway. Think of it like a muscle. You don't go to the gym and wait for the motivation to lift weights. You go and you lift them. The motivation, the strength, the results, they come from the act of doing, not the other way around. This isn't about producing a masterpiece. This is about training your brain. This is about building a new neurological pathway, one that says, I am the source of ideas, not just a collector of them. The first few days, you might just stare at a blank page. You might doodle a few lines. You might write one sentence and then feel stuck. Perfect. That's a win. You showed up. You did the thing. You resisted the urge to consume. And I promise you, with consistency, that blank page will start to feel less intimidating. Those few lines will turn into a small drawing. That one sentence will become a paragraph. And here's the most beautiful part of this habit. It's not just about what you create during that time. It's about what it does to the rest of your life. When you intentionally carve out time to create, you're sending a powerful message to your subconscious. You're telling your brain that its own thoughts and ideas are valuable, that they deserve time and space. And because you've given it that space, your brain starts to work for you in the background. Have you ever noticed how the best ideas often come to you in the shower, or while you're driving, or when you're doing something completely unrelated? That's your subconscious at work, processing all the information you've taken in and making connections. But if you're constantly filling every available moment with consumption, scrolling through TikTok, listening to a podcast, watching a YouTube video, you never give that processing a chance to happen. You're not just consuming information, you're consuming the very space your mind needs to innovate. The creation slot is your daily act of rebellion against that constant noise. It's your personal, quiet protest. It's not about doing more. It's about doing less of the wrong things so you can do more of the right things. It's about trading passive consumption for active contribution. So here's my challenge to you. For just 1 week, try this. Pick a time. Put it on your calendar. It can be just 10 or 15 minutes. And during that time, you do nothing but create. Close the tabs. Put the phone on silent. If you need to write, get a notebook and a pen. If you want to draw, get a sketchbook. If you want to cook, get in the kitchen without a recipe video pulled up. Just do. See what happens. Don't judge the outcome. Don't worry about the quality. Just be the person who creates. I promise you, the freedom that comes from knowing you have a place to put your own thoughts, your own ideas, your own creations, is a feeling you can't get from any amount of scrolling. You'll start to feel that low-grade anxiety fade away. You'll feel more in control. You'll feel more alive. Because you're not just a passive audience member in your own life anymore. You're the author. You're the director. You're the creator.